We know then that socialization is a process. Three theorists, Mead, Cooley, and Piaget, give us ideas about how that process takes place. Charles Horton Cooley developed the concept of the looking-glass self. He said that our sense of self develops through interaction with others, and three elements are involved. We imagine how we appear to those around us. For example, we may think that others perceive us as witty or as dull. Second, we interpret others' reactions. We come to the conclusion about how others evaluate us. Do they like us for being witty? Do they dislike us for being dull? And third, we then develop a self-concept. How we interpret others' reactions to us frames our feelings and ideas about ourselves. A favorable reflection in this social mirror leads us to a positive self-concept, and a negative reflection leads to a negative self-concept. This process begins in childhood, but it's never a finished product. We engage in this process throughout our entire adult life. George Herbert Mead developed the concept of taking the role of the other. We learn to put ourselves in others' shoes and to understand how others feel by taking the role of the other. This is an ability that develops slowly. Young children can only take the role of significant others, such as parents or siblings. But by playing games such as dress up, or then later in life maybe firefighter or doctor, we cultivate the ability to think about how others might act, feel, or behave. Mead also developed the term the generalized other, which refers to how people in general feel about us. As we get older, we play more with others and start to work together as a team, and those are all important parts of the socialization process. Mead also stressed that the self has two parts, the I and the me. While the I might do something, somebody else will do something to the me. I is the active agent of self, while the me is the object of an action by someone else. It's important to understand that Mead thought that both our self and our mind are social products. Mead also knew that we could not think about ourselves without using symbols, and that it's society that gives us those symbols so we can think about ourselves and the world around us. Jean Piaget studied child development, and he developed the idea that children go through different stages as they develop their ability to reason. This process has 4 stages. First, the child goes through the sensor-motor stage from about birth to age 2. During this stage, our understanding is limited to direct contact. The baby engages in nursing, in touching, in listening, in looking. We aren't able to think. During the first part of the stage, we don't even know that our bodies are separate from the environment. Indeed, we have yet to discover that we even have toes. Neither can we recognize cause and effect. That is, we don't know that our actions can cause something to happen. The second stage is the pre-operational stage, and that takes place from about age 2 to age 7. During this stage, we develop the ability to use symbols. However, we don't at that point understand common concepts such as size, speed, or causation. Although we are learning to count, we don't really understand what the numbers mean. The third stage is the concrete operational stage, and that takes place from about age 7 to age 12. Although our reasoning abilities are more developed then, they still remain fairly concrete. We can now understand numbers, size, causation, and speed, and we're able to take the role of the other. We can even play team games. But unless we have concrete examples, we're not able to talk about concepts such as truth, honesty, or justice. We can explain why Jane's answer was a lie, but we can't describe what the truth itself is. And the fourth stage is the formal operational stage. That takes place about the age of 12. We're now capable of abstract thinking. We can talk about concepts, we can come to conclusions based on general principles, and we can use rules to solve abstract problems. This idea of 4 different stages does seem to be valid across all cultures. So in that regard, they're considered to be global aspects of the self and of humans' development of reasoning skills. Refinements in these theories indicate that perhaps the self develops earlier than Mead thought, and that the stages developed by Piaget may not be as distinct and concrete as he thought. There's also speculation that some people get stuck in the 3rd stage and never reach the 4th stage of abstract reasoning.